Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome to your daily Adept report for today, Tuesday, June the 26th of 2018. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. And let's dive into the cards and a bit of the astrology to see what we actually have in store for today. Well, today's a really big day. It's a very powerful day because we do have a Mars Retrograde. This is occurring at around 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mars right now, which is in Aquarius, has been in shadow for quite a while. It went into shadow period when it hit the 28th degree of Capricorn. Now that it's at 9 degrees Aquarius, it's going to station retrograde as of today. What does this mean though? Well, Mars is our action energy. It's the way that we initiate things. It's our ego, our behavior in many ways. And this is really going to be a time where, you know, we have been trying to push forward into the future and take actions towards the future, trying to really figure out how to really, you know, shape our behavior in a way that, like, you know, I guess we're like I said, looking towards the future and everything like that. But with Mars going retrograde right here, this is going to be a time where we really have to stop, pause, and reevaluate the way that we've been acting, the way our behavior has been, and we have to kind of rethink, you know, how we initiate, you know, this current moment and how to project that energy into the future. It's interesting that this is happening because, you know, I probably will make a longer video on this Mars retrograde. And even in tandem with the Venus retrograde that we have later on in the year, because I think this is very powerful. But, you know, Mars is our masculine energy. So what's going to happen with this Mars retrograde over the next 2 months is that really, I like to say that men especially are going to have like an extended man period because we're kind of get deflated. The masculine energy is going to kind of get deflated because whereas, you know, Mars is the only energy that can move forward for 2 years before it goes retrograde. The last time I went retrograde was in 2016, and this happened in the signs of Sagittarius and Scorpio. So like I said, this one's going to be, you know, from Aquarius to Capricorn and then back. And we have to consider that this is happening on top of the South Node. So there's this weird type of, you know, push to try and, you know, figure out the collective and really try to, like, you know, push the collective into a certain direction. But we're having to, you know, really reflect on this masculine energy and this protruding energy. And we have to realize that, oh crap, you know, we have been taking actions and kind of initiating projects and things that haven't really been great for the collective, because Aquarius does rule the collective, and it does rule innovativeness and ingenious inventions and ideas, epiphanies, sudden changes. So when Mars goes retrograde, you know, kind of be prepared for things to kind of slow down a bit, and kind of be prepared for, you know, anybody that's really who has taken like advantage of the collective, anybody who has taken advantage of the collective only for their own personal gain, because, you know, this is Mars and it's ego ruled, and not so much that you want to just abandon the ego. That's not really what we're talking about. But if you have been so trapped in your ego, irregardless of everyone else around you, kind of be prepared to kind of like hit an impasse, kind of be prepared to like hit a block in the road or a boulder in the road, because you're not you're not going to be able to really initiate things forward. This is going to be a time where really anybody who has taken advantage of other people for their own personal gain, they're really going to start to see checks by the universe, because this is a time where we have to really review our masculine energy. And this goes for everyone. It's not just men. This goes for females as well, because we all have masculine and feminine energies in us. So Mars retrograde is really going to be really powerful and potent, and you're going to certainly feel it, because you're going to see this reflected within the collective. This is going to be a time especially where, like, essentially I like to think of Mars retrograde as like a volcano suddenly going dormant, and especially when it's in Aquarius, this is going to be really crazy, because what's probably going to happen is that things are going to kind of build to a head. And it's kind of interesting because I like to think that Aquarius rules lightning strikes, and really a lot of times you actually do see lightning around volcanoes and stuff like that. And apparently they say that volcanoes are home to aliens and stuff like that too. But what you're going to see right now is that you're going to see this really active volcano suddenly just go dormant. And it's going to be eerily quiet. And what's happening is that on the inside, this volcano is churning, and it's churning and creating more energy, and it's going to just kind of, you know, it has to focus that energy on the inside. Anytime a planet goes retrograde, we're turning internal. So the masculine energy is actually going internal. So whereas before we were protruding out and acting out and, you know, pushing out, now that it's going to be retrograde, you know, at least from our perspective, it's going backwards. Now it's going inside. So what you're going to experience is that you're going to be kind of like diving deep into your own self, into your own cosmos, because Aquarius in many ways rules space and the cosmos and the universe, and it even is the star card in the tarot. So you're going to be really diving deep within yourself, and maybe you have been kind of stuck on a particular planet within your own self, and now that Mars is going retrograde, you're going to actually start to explore your inner world and your inner cosmos. And it's kind of like how out here we send rockets to the moon and we're trying to go to Mars and all that stuff. Well, we're going to start to do that on the inside more. And when it retrogrades back into Capricorn later on, that's really going to be this time where we really have to figure out, okay, you know, we definitely have this vision for the future. We want to push things forward, but it has to be more in line with what's best for the collective and not just ourselves. So when it goes back into Capricorn, that's when we're going to start to rearrange the order of things and how things are going. On top of the South Node, be prepared to see all kinds of crazy shit on the internet. Honestly, this will be a great time while Mars is retrograde to really take time away from social media. I actually just came off a social media cleanse. I wasn't on Facebook or Instagram or Reddit, which are my main ones, and I use YouTube sparingly. I did that for about 4 to 5 days almost, and it was a very awesome experience. I even noticed, because like I went on social media last night, and I even just noticed just immediately how the energy affected me. So since this is happening on top of the South Node, and Aquarius does rule technology, in many ways I believe it rules social media, this is going to be a time where people are definitely going to be just projecting their insecurities as far as their behavior and their ego and what they really believe to be correct, what actions they believe are the ones that we should take. People are just going to be projecting this stuff because on top of the South Node, people are going to be projecting what they believe everyone should be, and they're going to try and put them inside of this box, right? And this Mars retrograde is really going to be like, you really have to check and have to reflect on, on what, you know, what you believe is to be true, as far as like, you know, not everyone can be fit inside of this box, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to fit everyone into a box, or we're trying to fit everyone. It's like, all right, you're either, you know, Democrat or Republican, you're either conservative or liberal, you're either black or you're white, you're either Christian or you're not. It's like we're trying to put everyone into these particular boxes, but Aquarius is like, there is so much more vastness and so much more knowledge to be had. There is so much more creativity and an ingenuity to be had. This is happening, like I said, on top of the South Node. So we're having to purge this idea of putting everyone in a particular box because we believe it's going to help the collective. This is going to be a time where the drones are going to kind of almost wake up, and this is like, they're going to wake up to the fact that they are drones. But we'll have to see if whether or not they go back to sleep or not. That's the interesting thing, that once you wake up from the dream, it's kind of hard to go back to sleep. But the funny thing is that when you wake up from the dream, you kind of are put into another dream. But this dream is more lucid, and you can actually create more. This is also happening against, you know, the North Node in Leo. So the best way to really make it through this transit is to tap into your heart space and to follow your heart and to follow that creativity, you know. We also have the moon, which is in Sagittarius, and it's going to trine over to Venus, which is in Leo, and it's also going to square Neptune. So the moon, you know, while it's in Sagittarius, it does give us a bit more sense of hope and jubilation, and, you know, really, you know, Sagittarius has a visionary energy. So it's like, even though Mars is going retrograde, the moon in Sagittarius is like, well, there's still hope for the future. There's still hope to bring this vision forward, but we do have to take time to stop and reconfigure how we have been doing things, how we've been moving forward, because if we don't, we're going to continue the same cycles. So as far as the card for today, I thought it was incredible because when I was shuffling the cards, it actually just popped out. We actually have impasse, and it says reflect and redirect your energy. That is exactly what we're doing. This Mars retrograde is like we literally have come to an impasse. We literally have hit this brick wall. Actually, it's not a brick wall. It's an air wall. That's Aquarius, because Aquarius is fixed air. We are protruding, our masculine energy hit this wall of air, and we tried to go through it, but we couldn't. And it was almost just like, we're like, if you try to pass through this wall right now, the way that you are acting, this wind will just slice up your body, right? And you will disintegrate. You have to go back, you have to redirect, you have to rethink, recalibrate, and then move forward. So that's what we're doing. We've kind of hit an impasse. And now we have to redirect our energy. So it is coming forth in a more aware, conscious, and also just more beneficial for the entire populace. This is going to be a time where it's like, the way to be selfish right now is to really follow your heart. And the way to be selfish right now isn't necessarily to try and step on other people for your own gain. And to kind of just realize this is also a reevaluating of competition. Like, why are we competing with each other? Like, it doesn't really make sense to be competing with each other the way that we are. We are essentially kind of like, we've been playing Monopoly, you know, and suddenly Mars retrograde is literally someone coming in and flipping over the table of Monopoly. All the money goes everywhere, all the houses and hotels go everywhere, and it's like, the universe is like, you need to rethink this shit. That is what today is. And it's going to, I think it's going to be a powerful day. I don't think it's going to be a per se bad day. It's just going to be a day where you really feel this energy just kind of like deflating from you. And you're going to have to really begin to direct that energy on the inside and figure out, okay, what can I do for myself? How can I change my own actions? What can I do internally so when Mars goes, you know, direct, I can reflect this out and actually begin to create a world for myself and then for other people that is beautiful, divine, and more conducive for all of our expansion and upbringing. That is it for your video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below too, theAquarianAdepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.